public or start.
But is it something you could bring back to this board so we could ponder
I
something
think
a little longer term?
I think a lot of the discussions that we have had have been preliminary, and they've been preliminary because as we examine our enrollment and we see our enrollments going down, we just feel that something's going to need to be done in the near future for a long-term plan. If we do that, we would like to roll it out so that we can introduce it to the community as a
Yeah,
whole.
'cause nobody wants to lose their neighborhood school, but
And, you know, as a whole, just to basically explain to them that the reason we're doing this is for an educationally more sound program, but in the long run, we're gonna see savings in dollars also. So those are the types of things we're looking at, but to say we wanna do that in the single year, even though we've been looking at it this year, I think whatever we come up with, I would like at least a year to promote it and sell it
sure.
to the PTAs, PTOs, and parents in the community before we even looked at it that way.
I think, Tom, I'd like to ask you, concerning yourself to the parents, you see you have a $45,000 for parental involvement. Is that a new concept that you want to get the parents on your side, so to speak?
Well, I have been for many, many years, and that line item has really come from a request from the town council. Over the years, they had not seen a number in the budget line item for parental involvement. And what I had done over the years is I had funded anything that we did with parental activities, informative evenings, things of that nature, to the point of working with grants. And the conversation went in the direction, well, what happens if the grants dry out? All of a sudden you're gonna hit a big line item into parental involvement. The parental involvement activities, I know the high school has had several meetings with our new principal of setting up a community-based committee with parents, business people, business leaders in the community, and the educators at the high school. One of the big things that I think is nationwide right now is every school building learning communities, so is what they call it, which includes parental involvement. And parental involvement, as you know, in the schools where our parents are most active, our students perform better than in other schools. Some of the mix match balances that you see in our enrollments, you will see occur from third grade on. And one of the reasons is we draw from our elementaries, we balance out of the early learning centers our first grade. Okay, so no one has a predetermined school that they're going to in the north end, the center, or the south end. What we're able to do by having the kindergartens in their own early learning center, we're able to take those students and balance our first grades, which will carry on to the second grade. In third grade, we start drawing some of our students out to go to the academy. Some schools get hit harder than others, and those cause bubbles. They're too big to keep us two, and we create a larger class that is maybe larger than the usual average class size that other schools are having. That causes some discrepancies that not only cause a problem in third grade, but follow through straight through sixth grade. That's a problem, and that's something that we need to try to address it. But once people are in their schools, they don't like to be transferred. I can't say we haven't transferred kids, because we have. First, we look for people who want to volunteer between Ferrara and Deer Run, or yeah, we were close in sister schools, so to speak, to do some of that and try to balance. But that's the way we do it on a regular basis in our first grade. So when we start the school year, our first grades across the district are pretty equal. So there's a lot of juggling that goes on. And then there's the variables that throw your planning out of tilt. And one of the major ones is when we start drawing kids out in the upper grades. You know, you could draw out a third grade, kid may not make the academy in third grade, but he may make it in fifth grade. And if it's a low number to begin with, then all of a sudden you look at those numbers, and, you know, so when moved out of the community, you say, wow, how come you're running those classes so small? We were able to, we had a bubble, for instance, in one of our schools that turned into being split into two classes of a very small amount in our Memorial school. But next year, we're looking to consolidate that in the sixth grade to the fifth grade to a single class of like 23, 24. That's doable. And we'll make sure that the resources are there for those particular kids.
Any more questions?
On the budget, I see there are positions, 1,137, in general, I'm talking. Now, if there's a position 7, if you divide that, will you get the dollar cost for each employee, or are at different steps?
You're talking about teachers.
Teacher
Well,
salaries?
teachers are actually, secretaries too, because I don't know, some are gonna be at the high step, others may be at the low step. Now, the budget really doesn't give that for us.
Last year it did for a couple of schools, and it did for Tuttle, and the year before they did it,
I don't see it here at all as far
but
as,
it's not this year at all.
can you generate that for us?
You want names? You don't want.
No, they had.
The secretary one,
Oh.
teacher,
Had the steps, one was like master, one had.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha,
what they
yeah,
were
I know
steps.
which report.
But
that
one
is.
was like 70,000 because they're at top of
Okay.
scale.
Yeah.
The other was
Yeah, we have that,
I think we generated that for the board when we were building the budget.
yeah.
So it shouldn't be that hard to produce for them.
right, every position.
Per school.
I'm not talking about, coaches, that type of position.
Your
Just
major positions.
Yes.
You're looking for full-time.
Full-time.
full-time or
Well, the
or major
coaches and everything
part-time.
are listed in the,
Some
or
are
the
coaches.
job,
Yeah,
like
some of
Andy.
the-
Well, there's so many of those, I'm not interested in those as far as the financial aspect.
Okay, we'll bring that tomorrow. I'll bring that tomorrow night for you guys.
Now, our town charter requires the Board of Ed to generate a quarterly financials. I haven't seen them in a long time.
That's easy.
Well, no, it's actually, it's a requirement that the Board of Ed generate a quarterly financial as far
I mean, I
as.
see that monthly anyway.
But they're supposed to be distributed to the Board of Finance and Town Council.
I don't remember that one chart.
Well,
That's not a hard thing to find.
there's so many charters that I remember that it's possible, that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's always been,
Is that, I remember some, at times, I remember the question coming up, and I don't think it was you who asked the question, well, and I said, I'll get your report and
right.
and distribution. But, yeah, that's not.
In the past, the report has been generated with the town report at the same time.
I don't remember doing that. Did that come out of?
Well, you
my-
weren't there at the past, I'm talking about my past.
Oh, that passed. Oh, okay.
You've done that for us, though, Sam.
Yeah, I've gotten your reports, but I don't remember doing it on a periodic basis or like monthly basis, like.
Yeah, we had it for the sewer authority also, but.
Yeah, that was always, do you have a copy of the charter? I don't know.
Do you have it?
No,
I have it, I'm gonna bring
do you have one?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
I have
I know,
Well, I have one in the office.
I think, I was just gonna say, I think every department head has one.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions? Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, good seeing you again.
Nice to see you.